Welcome back. We're here for our final Nickel and Dime 2022 season preview show. We're going to talk the whole shebang. We're going to talk who we think is going to be in the AFC and NFC championship games. We're going to talk early Super Bowl predictions that we're all probably going to get wrong. We're going to talk offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, and then, of course, which quarterback's going to win the MVP because it's going to be a quarterback. But we got our resident Bengals fan, Randy Slack, joining us. We got our Giants guy, Chris Mayer, joining us. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button because week one's right around the corner. It's Nickel and Dime. Fellas, how we doing? Thanks for joining us on our last show before the season starts.
Yeah,
thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Already excited for the 2023 draft for the Giants.
I was gonna ask, did we have differing levels of hype for the season? Because Randy, your team's coming off the defending AFC champions.
Yeah.
How you feeling about Bengals heading into this year?
Well, generally speaking, it's not great to be the team that loses the Super Bowl the next year. Normally, those teams don't come back. Also, they won, I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong here, they won their 3 playoff games by a combined 5 points, give or take. Oof. So, there's a little trepidation, but at the same time, the biggest issue on that team was the offensive line. They did fix it, but my God, this is a team that lost to Michael White and the New York Jets. They're a team that barely beat Urban Meyer-led Jacksonville Jaguars, and they lost to the Browns twice.
Wow, so, wow, definitely not the direction I thought you were heading in.
No, those are some ugly warts.
I'm offended that you guys don't know me better by this point, because
you're right, Mr. Rainbow and Sunshine over
here. Yeah. It almost like if you go through the progression of last season, it was almost like he wasn't on the train early, and then it was all of a sudden he's here. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in the Super Bowl. I didn't see it coming from you.
It was crazy. Last year was the Raiders game was so surreal. Like being in my apartment and just being like, they won a playoff game.
Yeah.
And then the game against the Titans, I really wasn't too worried because I was like, well, we already won. Like who really? We got the monkey off the back.
It's bonus. It's all bonus now.
Yeah, and then when they got to Kansas City, that going into that game, I'm like, we're gonna get destroyed. Like, no chance we win. It's like 21-3 in the second quarter, and I'm like, yep,
here we go.
I turned it off. I'm like, I don't want to watch it in like this. And then I turned it back on, and they won. It was, and then the Super Bowl. Let me tell you, as somebody who's never been able to watch their team in the Super Bowl, that's the worst way to watch the Super Bowl. It was nerve-wracking the entire time. Like that sucked. That wasn't fun. I don't remember any of the commercials. Did they play commercials?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Be intense.
Hanging on pins and needles. No, but the crazy thing about it is I completely understand. But the problem is that both the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowls were blowouts in Tampa Bay's favor. So I don't understand that.
Oh, you don't know what stress is? Oh, okay.
Not in those games. Not in those games. I don't know.
Well, speaking of team stress, Mara, how you feeling about the Giants? Are you a Tyrod? You're a Tyrod truther? Is Tyrod?
No, I mean Daniel Jones had a really good preseason actually. The last game he went 14 of 16. The interception was a typical Giants interception where the receiver was in his hands, and
this is yours.
Since 2009, they've been the most injured team in the league, and it continues again. One of our starting linebackers, who I was excited about, our offensive line's pretty dinged up, even though that wasn't good to begin with. So it's like the one good thing I will say is the offense, while it is preseason and it's supposed to be vanilla, it looks like a 2022 NFL offense and not a 2000 quick slant, run it down your throat offense. So, I mean, I'm excited. I just, I'll tease it a bit. I do think the Eagles are going to go to the Super Bowl. And,
I'm excited to hear some explanations on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the two worst nights of my life were when my dad died and then when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So I think it's happening again. The way it's NFC is so bad. So, I just want to see progression.
It's so bad.
Yeah. I think you'll get it. Honestly, yeah. I think you're gonna get it. I don't know. I just don't know about Daniel Jones. Like I'm sure, like that's the question, man. And Galladay. I don't know what Galladay.
He's not the guy. He's not a franchise quarterback, but he's not as bad as the laughing stock of the league, which I think he is right now.
Yeah.
But
because Sam Darnold didn't play him, so someone's got to take it.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Well, before we give too much away for our season predictions, got a couple housekeeping notes for you guys. If anything strikes your fancy that you want to talk on, just go for it. Bills activate their cornerback Tre'Davious White off the PUP list, or they put him on the PUP list. He's gone for the first 4. The Colts activate Leonard though, so Leonard will be ready to go for the season. Oh, Shaquille Leonard now.
Shaq Leonard. I mean, it's just that is a way more menacing name,
Oh, for sure.
Like, I'm sorry.
Darius. Darius, you gonna tackle me?
Yeah, and we know it would hurt because we've seen him play. But no, man, I think that the Trey White thing is going to hurt because the Bills' schedule out the gate is ridiculous. So that is going to hurt them. And great for the Colts because they're going to need it.
Yeah. Eagles receive cornerback Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from the Saints. So that boosting the depth there for the Eagles. Almost said the Phillies. The Philly Eagles.
So glad that dirty player's out of NFC South.
Right. Anytime someone leaves the division, I'm here for it. I do want to get you guys' take on this. Rumors are the Ravens are the front runner to land Kenyon Drake since Edwards is a question mark for the start of the season, and they don't want to run Dobbins into the ground.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Baltimore, I don't know why this is always their problem. They never have healthy running backs. Like it was like this last year.
They had the retirement home last year, though.
Like, how do you not? You had a year to figure this out. Of hey, we need other people to run the ball besides Lamar. Maybe we find somebody instead of going. Well, maybe these guys will finally be healthy.
They tore their ACL. That's a quick bounce back, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't think it actually matters though, because like the Ravens' offense is literally designed so that running backs can average 5 yards a carry no matter what.
And be fine.
So
yeah.
I mean,
they find guys. They do find guys.
Right. Yeah. I think Randy could probably average 5 yards a carry behind that.
Yeah.
Strong 4-3. Strong 4-3.
Yeah.
I'm 6 feet. I can fall forward and get probably 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
If I get to the line in time.
Chris, you hadn't seen Randy going downhill though, buddy. He can get more than 5 yards. All right.
I'm good for about 5 to 7 carries a game, and I'm going to need that oxygen tank just for myself.
Full blast.
Just laying down.
If you can get 2 yards, I'm saying you at least get in the training camp tryout. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you need. That's all you need.
Because more people are going to get hurt. More people are going to get hurt. They need more spots. The Commanders running back Robinson shot in a carjacking attempt. He was released from the hospital.
Yes. And apparently he's thinking about playing this year too.
He took a bullet through his knee, and it didn't hit anything that is going to cause.
How lucky is that
damage.
Guy?
Like no tendons.
Damn.
Well, he's a running back that always knew how to find the holes. So I mean,
that's crazy, man. Up there in DC, that type of stuff happens, but it just happened to an NFL player. So hopefully he'll be all right, man. But damn, I mean, what do you say to that?
Chappelle tried to tell us.
Yeah, that he did. That he did.
Steelers trade for outside linebacker Malik Reed. Get him from Denver. So adding some depth because don't know how Watt's going to be. He's going to miss some games at some point. And they're that other linebacker that they have, they're wondering if he's going to be ready for week 1. They've had some depth issues in Steelers in Pittsburgh, so this is going to shore
maybe that up. And honestly, and Randy, maybe you could speak to this, but maybe this is more of an indictment, like me and Drew talked about a couple weeks ago. Maybe this is more of an indictment on Devin Bush not really being the guy who they need him to be, trading for a Malik Reed. So you even bring him in at this point in camp. I don't know, man. I just it's something stinks there in Pittsburgh with Devin Bush.
I talked to a guy who worked on the Steelers radio network. He's covered the Steelers for years. He says that Devin Bush, because of how they traded it up for him in that draft, Devin Bush is the biggest bust of the Kevin Colbert era as far as first-round picks go.
Oof.
More than Artie Burns, more than Bud Dupree's, more than those guys. Yeah. Like, that's the biggest first-round bust. Obviously, you look like Lima Sweet or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
I mean, just a miss, total miss on Bush to trade up and get. And thank God, because apparently Cincinnati was going to go after him.
Ooh,
so they move up to get him in front of Cincinnati. So it kind of
took that dodge
that bullet. So damn. Yeah, no, that sucks. And there hasn't been many misses in Colbert's era. Maybe you're talking about second round or later. I get it, but like they've been plentiful.
They're perfect on hitting in like the third to fifth.
Yeah,
I feel like every year they get a starter out of those rounds.
I don't know how they do it.
49ers restructured Jimmy G's contract. One more year in San Fran.
Hey.
Can I say something about Jimmy G? Okay.
Of course.
He is not good. He's not
First off, I want y'all to know, not good.
You know what I hate about watching like ESPN and like First Take, all those shows? Like there's always one guy that's like, well, he's a winner. And it's like I'm not a QB wins stat kind of guy.
Yeah.
And
you like stats for your QBs.
And I think there's a stat like in Jimmy G's playoff wins, he's averaged like 150 passing yards a game. So I don't think that like, they obviously couldn't get anything for him, but I think having him in the locker room is not a good idea.
It's way better than paying him 20-something mil. They only got to pay him like 6.5 unless he plays.
Right.
Well, they were just talking about this like in most of the shows, I guess, this afternoon, because that's what it happened this afternoon or whatnot. But they were saying that this is actually kind of a win-win for both situations. Like,
Shanahan was pumped.
Well, I think for Mara's point, like I don't think there's any in between. Like it's either going to go bad or it's going to go like Trey Lance is going to do well enough, and Jimmy, instead of going to a bad team, will have a chance to cash out next year with a QB needy team. So, take the pay cut, getting 12. 12 is better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like 12 million is better than nothing. So maybe sit there, look good, bang some porn stars. You're still in California and do the thing, man.
He's going to be great in Carolina next year after Baker Mayfield's contract expires. They need another quarterback. They're just going to just roll with Jimmy next year. Go 8-9. It's going to be awesome.
Why are you even speaking that into existence?
Yeah, it's out there now. It's out there.
I'd rather have Darnold back, man.
That's not the worst case scenario for the Panthers. The worst case is that Baker is pretty good. And then they're like, we have to pay him $25 to $30 million a year because he's pretty good, and we can maybe win around. That's the worst case scenario in this situation, which I feel like is going to happen.
It's going to happen, and we're going to pay him, and it is what it is at this point. But he could be good. All right, leave him alone. Leave him alone. I'm turning into that guy that was under the covers, like, leave Brittany alone. Like, you leave Baker alone. All right. A lot of cuts.
A lot of them. Yeah.
A player that didn't get cut, Falcons wide receiver Bernhardt, makes the 53-man roster. He started playing football in May.
Damn.
He was the 2021 Lacrosse Player of the Year.
This is that dude who can't do no wrong when he touches a field or a court. This is that guy?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Made the 53-man roster.
Like, line that dude up outside of the sperm bank. You know what I'm saying? Like, line him up.
Sample 53 has been going. All right, these cuts. Buffalo. Sean, I want to kick this one off because I want to see the look on your face. Buffalo cuts tight end O.J. Howard.
Oh boy. No, like the first thought that I had was like, oh, maybe the Bucks can get him for the low. We don't have that many. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need somebody that might be able to come in and already know the system.
Always playing GM. I hear you.
I could definitely see. Oh, like Bucks fans, we are some thirsty bitches. Like as soon as somebody gets cut, we're just like we're licking our chops.
Yeah.
We're licking our chops. We've been so lucky.
What veteran minimum can we throw at this guy?
Exactly. We're giving you nothing and giving you everything all at the same time. That's what we do right now.
Y'all are the creepers that pull up in the van like, what's up, kid? You want to win a Super Bowl?
It's the best candy, because everybody's coming. Everybody's coming in.
Yeah.
I was bummed
hold out that TB12 and them receivers and pass catchers are like, oh?
Yeah. I love it. It'll be gone soon.
Super bummed the Bills also cut Duke Johnson, though. So remember we talked a couple weeks back that Zach Moss was showing out in camp. They chose Moss over Duke as the backup.
I mean,
I guess backup, third string.
Yeah, he looked good, man.
Some team will scoop him up. This isn't the end of Duke Johnson.
Yeah. Oh no, I was talking about Moss. Zach Moss.
Oh yeah, so, yeah.
I can understand.
So what do they got? Breida, Moss, and Singletary?
No, they got Cook.
Oh yeah,
Devin
Cook.
Cook's
they had Breida last year.
Yeah. So still a trio up there.
I'm excited to see what little brother Cook could do in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that'll be cool. Raiders cut offensive line Alex Leatherwood.
Another crazy.
Another early draft pick gone from Vegas.
Man,
they did not hold on to the people they draft.
There is talk about a stink, man. There's a stink on that Gruden and Mayock era that is it's filthy, man.
Well,
it's filthy.
They're a good example of like literally what not to do in the NFL when it comes to consensus boards, positional value. I mean, the best player that they drafted in the first round is Josh Jacobs, and he's already regressing, and he's a running back. So like, it just, and the fact that Leatherwood didn't even work out when they moved him to guard, like, I don't know what's going on, but I wanted the Giants to sign him because why not?
Why not?
There it is.
Why not?
There it is. And we all other 31 other teams are basically like, this kid's got, it's the first round, kind of aura about you. You know what I mean? Like there has to be something there. I love it. I love
Alabama's, a collegiate pedigree.
Yeah, so like if Nick Saban took a chance, somebody will give him a chance. I just wonder if anybody will be able to get what they need out of this player. Randomly, while it's on my brain, you were talking about the Bengals earlier. I heard a stat from Joe Burrow. Check this out. So after Joe Burrow gets pressured, his QB rating is 99.5 after a pressured play. So like
that's how they went into the Super Bowl last year.
That's how they went. My man is
because he was pressured all the time.
Yeah, he was, every play.
Run for your life. Run as fast as you can. Throw the ball to Chase. It worked.
I love it.
When you're a kid and you played Mario Brothers and you were on your last life, you always played better when you had on your last life than when you had like 10.
That's that focus.
That's Joe Burrow in that offense. He's just like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
You know what? It's amazing what scarcity will bring out. What I mean?
Yeah. A couple more cuts. Like I said earlier, Texans cut running back Marlon Mack. So Pierce is RB1 in Houston. So that'll be interesting. A couple fringe QBs got cut. Texans also got rid of Jeff Driscoll. Vikings got rid of Kellen Mond. Saw that one coming.
Wow.
Giants offloaded Davis Webb. How do you feel about that one?
Damn, Davis Webb. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll still be on the practice squad, but he's another bust. I had high hopes for him like 7 years ago.
Yeah, and the Browns cut Josh Rosen.
Of course they did. Chris, I feel like when you say bust, it hurts a little bit more. It's just the way it comes out of your mouth. Like it's just like, oh damn, he must have been.
Philly. I'm from Philly.
That Gettleman,
it hits a little bit harder. It hits a little bit harder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Eagles cut starting safety Anthony Harris. Titans get rid of longtime punter Brett Kern. Chiefs, I don't know why he was still in the team anyway. Chiefs get rid of Josh Gordon. And Bucks.
Oh, go ahead.
Bucks got rid of Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, that.
I liked him. I wanted the Giants to draft him. I thought he was going to be solid.
He's had moments, but he didn't live up to what he needed to live up to last year, and I think that kind of stuck with him. Nobody can he literally helped the Bucks win the Super Bowl with that catch in the Saints game. That was one of the best catches of the year for the whole team. But
heroes usually get cut the next year, though, man.
It's just the nature of the position. You got to keep up if you want to be there. Somebody's going to take a chance on him. The problem with Tyler
Packers,
Johnson, he can be very good. The problem, though, is that he's not fast enough to really compensate for everything else he can do. So that's the unfortunate thing. If you need a good possession wide receiver and you don't have one on your team, snatch him up. It'll be good for you.
Yeah. And then the last housekeeping note I got, and we can move on. NFL's top 100 players of 2022. Number 1, Mr. Tom Brady. 45-year-old.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
That was, I'll let y'all speak on it, but that was the number one thing. When they kept doing the cut to other players, it was begrudgingly. It was well, God damn it, I guess it's going to be Tom, 45-year-old ass. That was the number one thing, through everybody. But yeah, so.
Well, I mean, I think, the players, there's just so much respect for a guy to be that good and to be able to play that long, and for the guys to know how hard it is to compete in the NFL. Yeah. And if you're able to compete at a high level at that age, even if maybe, as far as quarterbacks go, maybe another guy you'd like better, maybe has a better arm or whatever, it's freaking Tom Brady. I know wins aren't a stat, but my God, the guy's in every other Super Bowl for the last 25 years, it feels like. Yeah. How do you not pick that guy as he's the best player in the NFL?
We about to see what kind of magic he's got left behind that offensive line this year, though.
Yeah.
Could be interesting. Yeah. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah. All right. Suds, shout outs. You want to kick us off?
Yeah, man. I mean, just a quick shout out. I forgot this last week, but quick shout out to Isaiah Likely. That dude has been killing it this preseason. They legitimately have a 2 tight end roster now, and that is a team that likes to use tight ends. So I kind of can't wait to see what they're able to do. Just another element that they'll be able to add. And a lot of people are counting the Ravens out. So I'm very curious to see how they end up at the end of 2022, man.
Nice. I got one. I got Tom Brady. Shout out to Tom Brady for looking human on that podium. My man said, I'm 45. I got shit to do. Leave me alone.
Yes. Yeah. And everybody just felt it, it's yeah, no, I agree, I agree. No, man, I think shout out first to the end of the preseason.
Yes,
it is really that time. It is that time. I loved how we were all excited that football was back, and now I'm just ready to see some real stuff. And it's ending off of a holiday weekend too, so we get a holiday weekend where we don't have to worry about anything else except being on the holiday weekend, and then we get football. So
shout out to Aaron Donald for knowing he can't get in trouble at practice.
Yeah.
Man's I'm about to kill someone, and they ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah. I guess unshout out to the NFL for not having the jurisdiction to punish people in practice.
Yeah, that was a good. I think they might change the rules on these inter-squad practices because there seem to be a lot of fights, and then when guys start bringing in weapons, it's hey, maybe in the CBA we talk about this a little bit. So I don't know, dudes aren't dual wielding helmets and throwing them at people.
I just love that. Out of the 2 helmets in his hand, neither one was his.
No.
That's smart. You never take your helmet off. I hate when football players are let me take my helmet off. No, it's armor. Keep it on.
I still
and also people that punch the helmet. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Dumbest thing.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was just saying, like, also, I'm a double shout out Aaron Donald, because the very first thing that I thought whenever he got in trouble for fighting, I was like, oh, my man must want to take some extra time off. Like,
I need a
wants an
vacation.
extra vacation.
He knows
So,
games don't matter till after the bye
right?
week.
No, good for him.
It would have been funny if he would have swung helmets that had those extra paddings on them. That would have been a fun visual. They would have just been enormous, like those oversized boxing gloves.
Yeah.
That'd been pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, gotta shout out the boy Rodrigo from the Detroit Lions.
Rodrigo,
my guy,
dude. I'm loving Hard Knocks this year.
Yeah,
I've taken the last few years off because it just didn't appeal to me, but I thoroughly enjoyed this year.
Yeah, no, I have to. It's been an every week watch, and like, I got scared, fellas. I got scared because right before I came on, I saw that Rodrigo was trending in sports, and I was like, the Lions
better not have been cut.
They better not.
He made the roster, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I
feel like we would have seen it. You know, he's a crowd. He's the star of that show.
Right. Bro, he is a monster, and like undersized too. I'm very curious to see how his season turns out. I don't know. Does anybody know if he's like slated to start or?
Well, I mean, according to the last episode, I saw that he was taking reps with the ones.
Ooh,
so
Rodrigo,
he was getting some more reps, which was, that's great to see. It's fun to watch, those kind of stories of a guy who just works really hard and, competes. I'll do my shout out real quick since I'm already talking here. Shout out to my guy, Sam Howell. I thought Sam was tremendous. I went to a Clemson Carolina game his freshman year, and he went toe for toe with Trevor Lawrence, throw for throw. They look great out there, both guys. And for that guy to fall like he did, and I don't know, I think there's a real chance that he's starting at some point this year because Carson Wentz is terrible. So we could see Sam Howell. He looked great. I know Kenny Pickett made some great throws, and he's going to be good. But you can't tell me that throws that Kenny Pickett made in the third, fourth quarter against third-team guys don't count for Sam Howell too.
People don't understand how terrible his offensive line was last year. So the fact that he had
one of those guys.
The tale of so many different drafts, but he's going to be the steal of this draft, a fifth rounder with his upside. He led the preseason in passing yards. Like, come on.
Which is crazy. And Drew, you've been shouting that dude's praises for at least.
I'd much rather have him than Matt Corral. Much rather.
Yeah. So, and shout to Rivera for doing his homework, man. I mean, he was in the state. He should have contacts there at Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be a thing. And he took a chance on it. Maybe it'll pay dividends. I didn't want to step on anybody's toes. I know somebody's about to get in right there.
Chris, who you got as your shout outs?
I was just going to say people who are complaining that Lamar Jackson isn't signed yet, even though he doesn't have an agent. Can we stop? Can we stop with these players that think that they can just get an agent?
Yeah.
Just hire Drew Rosenhaus. You'll make $300 million, and that's it. Like, it's just annoying that they keep debating on these TV shows why he's not signed yet. And it's like, he doesn't, that guy that does all that work for you, you don't have that guy. Just hire him.
That's true.
Because the agent's got to say some things that you can't say.
How do you not hire Deshaun Watson's agent? That guy.
He's the guy. He's the guy right now. Yeah.
Because that's the problem. That's why Lamar's not signed, is they're so far away on guaranteed money. They know the years, they know the money. Lamar wants the whole damn thing guaranteed, and Baltimore's like, no.
If that's the going rate, like, I mean, and it's for Lamar, so like maybe this is how they're actually looking at him, because if Lamar doesn't want to be known as a rushing quarterback, it's clear that that's how they view him, because like, if they're not trying to guarantee all of his contract, like all these other precedents have already been set, that says something to me. So. Yeah. And I guess while I'm talking here, it's like the whole agent thing. I completely agree with you. It is amazing how fast people run away from 3%. Okay, like that's all they're getting. That's the standard fee. Yeah. But 3%
football agents get 3%.
I want to say it's 3% of the
Why do
total
entertainment
contract.
Agents get 10%? This is crazy.
it may be different, and it could be 10, but like, I mean, even if it is, it's a sunk cost, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's gonna happen. You'll be better off. Like, I mean, Dave Chappelle said 10 million and 40 million buys the same stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and not only that, but not only is Lamar not getting a contract, like Baker Mayfield had like 1 million commercials and Lamar Jackson gets nothing. How much of that is because he doesn't have an agent who's knocking on doors
making you money when you're at practice?
Yeah, like he should be getting endorsements. He's an exciting player in the NFL. He's a star player.
Hilarious.
He's an MVP. And he gets nothing, and all these other guys are getting endorsement deals and such. And it's because you don't have an agent. You're worried about, the game on Sunday, and an agent could be trying to get you a car dealership commercial. Like, make money.
Very true. All right. Anybody else got any other shout-outs?
No, go ahead. Yeah, get in.
I was just say, I do want to say my girlfriend's a UNC alum and a Commanders fan. So after Sam Howell lit up the preseason, I bought his rookie card for like $2.
just in case.
You never know.
No, you never know. And cards are big business these days.
They're coming back up. Yeah, they're on the rise.
Crazy. I guess one last quick shout out before we move on, but I had to say it. Drew, I think you mentioned him earlier. Shout out the boy Damian Pierce. Everybody was trying to sneak that little fucker on their fantasy team, and it is not happening anymore. He's a starter, and he's worked his way up. Got to shout him out. So I think he's going to be a bright spot on that Texans team.
Nice. All right, let's get into our season predictions. Shawn, we'll start with you. We'll start in the AFC. Give me your AFC championship game.
Oh man, I like this. This was very hard, and I had to write down all of the contenders and then kind of basically do a tournament style with everybody and figure this whole thing out. But just very quickly, my AFC championship game, round 3, baby, Chargers and Kansas City Chiefs. In the AFC championship
AFC
game.
West. All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I've been on the Chargers, but I had to really think who was going to contend with them. And I feel like the groundswell of people who have been hyping the Chiefs, like, I'm starting to believe it a little bit. Like, I'm really starting to believe that Juju and Mecole Hardman and they'll be addition by subtraction. They'll be better without Tyreek Hill. So we'll see how it works out.
I dig it, man. Chris, who you got in your AFC? Also, if you have anything to add to what Shawn just dropped on us.
No, that's good. I have Bills Chargers. And the thing with the Chargers is, like, their head coach, they went for 4th down a lot last year and didn't succeed. But I think, like, the law of averages, that luck will turn around just because naturally. So I think a lot of those close games they lost.
Riverboat Staley.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously improved defense, but I just think the Bills don't really have a weakness except for their secondary. And yeah, I just think the Chargers eventually, they're a team with a lot of bad luck, but they're stacked.
That's what worries me. A lot of bad luck.
Yeah, it's not really on their side. I think this might be the year that it changes, though. I think they've made enough changes and they've had enough close calls. Hopefully they don't have injuries to key positions. I'm looking at you, Austin Eckler.
Derwin James
too, just got paid.
You think Keenan Allen and Mike Williams can stay healthy for 2 consecutive years?
Man, damn. How many injury-prone tag players do they have on their team? It's just it's a mash unit over there.
That's what worries me.
Yeah, I could see it.
Randy, who you got representing the AFC in your world?
Well, first of all, Chris, you talk about Coach Staley in Los Angeles going for 4th down a ton. People give him a lot of grief over it, and I'm with you. I think going for it, the way the NFL's set up, the way offenses are, you have a really good quarterback, you need to go for it. I play a lot of poker, and in poker, they tell you to not be results-oriented. You have to kind of play the way you're supposed to play, and in the long run, you're going to come out on top if you're playing the right way. I think they're playing the right way. I think it's just they caught some bad beats. Now, in the NFL, you don't get to play thousands of hands of poker like you do when you play cards. So there's a risk there for the coach, but they had like 10 games that were 1-score games. They went for it on fourth down a billion times. You get a few of those games change completely, and I think they can be a playoff team. Having said that, my AFC Championship game is Denver and Kansas City. Denver's defense was great. You bring in Russ, that fixes. I feel like Carolina is going to upgrade from Sam Darnold to Baker Mayfield a little bit. I feel like going from Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater to Russell Wilson is just I can't even. I don't know. It's like going from a moped to a new car of any make or model. Like you're like, oh my god, this is nice. We have doors.
Just 2 to 4 wheels. Just 2 to 4 wheels.
Like it's going to be. They're going to be good. But Kansas City's been there, done that type team. They're a tough team to bet against. And when you got Andy Reid, you got Patrick Mahomes. That's a team I really like. I get worried about Buffalo just because Josh Allen runs so much. And that stuff's a ticking time bomb.
They don't have Trubisky backing him up this year.
Yeah. Every dude who carries the ball that many times, eventually the clock runs out on that. You're going to get hurt. What happens if he gets hurt in a game? I know anybody can get hurt, and that can count for anybody. But I just worry about that. And I worry that there's just a little bit too much of the Buffalo's supposed to be the best team, but they haven't been the best team before. Yeah. Like you kind of need to be that team before we can talk about you being that team. So that's the thing that kind of, for Buffalo, is just kind of, plus the whole bad karma about their punter situation, like that's just a little, you hear about it, then you cut your other punter. And then when the story comes out, then you're like, well, we have to cut that guy. It's like, you kind of knew already.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. And it's amazing that you say that, because I was thinking that today. I was like, I don't know of a Super Bowl team who's had that kind of bad, you know what I'm saying? Like just I can't remember another example of that. Yeah. And you talk Ravens about also was that the same year?
Oh, I don't know.
I know
that was the
close.
Only example I could think.
That's right.
It's real close, yeah.
But no,
I
man.
can't remember where that suit.
It's oh god, it was horrible. But no, like the Buffalo Bills, they, like you talk about them being the best team. I feel like that's what happened the last 2 years. People were like, "Oh, Buffalo is that team this year," and then they just were on the cusp, and the Chiefs and whoever else, and the Bengals, took them out, whatever it was. So they have to prove it. They got to prove it.
All right, for my AFC Championship game, I think I want to pick the Chargers. Shawn, you know how much I like the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get hurt. I don't think Eckler survives the whole year. I don't think Williams survives the whole year. Worried about our boy Herbert having to do it all himself. So
legit concerns.
Think he's going to go to the playoffs. Don't think they'll get to the championship, because I think the Chiefs will be there. Not betting against Pat Mahomes this year because he's pissed. Tyreek Hill broke his heart, and he's ready. He's coming for blood.
A man scorned.
Yeah, saying he too was better. I'm mad for him.
Yeah.
So I think the Chiefs carry Pat Mahomes' chip on his shoulder to the AFC Championship game against this year's surprise team. A little of that Matt Stafford Rams effect. Indianapolis Colts.
Oh wow! I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
I feel like you've been not the high on the Colts, but not down on them either. So this is new territory.
I had them as my second. I got them probably the second seed in the AFC.
Okay.
Yeah,
I dig it.
Wow.
Yeah. I hope we just get a banger of a Bills Chiefs game again in like the semifinals. Because we all the NFL world owes us that one. I want 3 overtimes. Come on.
By the way, it should, just for the record, Kansas City got the ball first in overtime against Cincinnati, and the Bengals.
Oh yeah, I forgot NFL. Yeah.
Just FYI, getting the ball first. By the way, the Saints in the game where they allegedly were screwed by the Rams when there was that fan and pass interference call, the Saints at home got the ball first in overtime and lost that game. So just for the record, getting the ball first in overtime.
I still wish
there's
they
a
had
marginal advantage. You can still win games if you're a real football team. So
I still kind of wish they did college overtime.
Yep.
No. The offenses are too good. The games would be 6 hours. There's 2 minutes commercial inventory on the late games. They don't want people to overrun those games.
I don't feel like you're telling me bad things here.
I can't pay attention for more than 3 hours, Drew.
That's why I watch Red Zone.
That's the one thing I can pay attention to for more than 3 hours.
Yeah, right. All right, Shawn. We'll go in that same order. Shawn, who you got in the not as strong NFC?
Not as strong in theory, man, but like also just as hard, because I feel like there's going to be something for every team that knocks them out of contention, right? Like when it comes down to it, whatever it may be, quarterback play, offensive line play, whatever it is. So that's how I kind of whittled it down. I say all that to say, Bucks Rams. That's who I have, and I think it comes down to that. I think the Rams, they have everything to go back to.
I'm worried about Stafford's arm. I'm worried about the elbow.
There could be something to that. I mean, throwing arm, you know what I'm saying? Throwing arm, elbow, there definitely could be something.
And the season doesn't start and it feel better. Glad I finally worked that out.
You're right. But no, I think like if it does work out, if he's status quo for what he was last year, I think with both teams, that's probably what it's going to come down to. Obviously, I hope the Bucks can right their wrongs. But I think that's what it's going to come down to, man. I like those two teams are just stronger on paper than every other team, and I think they're also a veteran-laden team. So I
telling me
the drop off.
The Randy Savage way of thought, the cream rises to the top. Is that what you're giving me right now?
Always, brother.
Okay. All right. Chris, who you got?
Bucks, Eagles.
Ooh, man.
Little rematch of the first round last year, if I remember.
Yeah, but I think it's going to end much differently, unfortunately.
Ooh. Okay, don't get a little foreshadowing. Don't get too much away now. Our sponsors get mad if we don't save the big finale for the end. All right.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? So the Eagles, tell me more about them making it.
Because I'm in a really good place right now in my life, and I just think God wants to find a way to make me miserable. But I mean, look, they're arguably the most improved team in the league.
I got them winning the East, so I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they win the East easily. If Jalen Hurts plays just as well as he did last year, I think they're way better because of AJ Brown. But I do think he might improve a little bit. And it's just like all the moves they made for defense. Their draft was really good, I thought. Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis. Now they got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I mean, I don't really see a huge weakness. And then they took my guy James Bradbury out of free agency. So like
didn't come back.
They're just like they now I will say,
and they got Reddick too,
right?
And
yeah.
they do.
And so like I don't know. It just seems like that kind of situation.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man.
Yeah. And that, like I didn't like it when the Eagles were good. Like, I mean, it was fine. Like, it was cool.
To be fair, I think it was more I didn't like McNabb that much.
No, I mean, just a couple years ago when they won it. Like,
well, that was because I didn't like Wentz. I've just never liked that quarterback. So I could never fully enjoy Eagles' success, but I like Hurts. So maybe I can try this.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous because we'll all be better for it, but like also if Philly is good, like Philly fans being obnoxious, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, right? Go ahead.
I thought that run was tremendous. It was so fun because they were so obnoxious, and all the Nick Foles stuff, and my favorite thing was my favorite part of the whole run. By the way, the Super Bowl that year was incredible. Like the offense displayed by the Patriots and Eagles was just tremendous. It wasn't bad defense. It was just offense that were playing so well. That game was so fun to watch. But it was so funny to me going into the NFC Championship game. It's like, well, Eagles have a backup quarterback. This is going to be crazy. The Vikings are going to be the first team to host the Super Bowl. And then they just got their absolute ass kicked. Like, it was embarrassing. It was like, oh my God, like, this is the NFC Championship game. Like, we have a backup quarterback just throwing the ball as far as he can down the field. Yeah. And Alshon Jeffrey's just catching it for touchdowns. It was insane how they beat the brakes off the Vikings. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah. Vikings can't catch a break, man.
Based
off that, Randy, who you got in your NFC Championship?
My NFC, man, I want to pick other teams, but I can't pick Green Bay just because I don't know what their problem is. Like, Aaron Rodgers is great, but I can't pick them. I just can't. I like Dallas. I like Dak. I like CD. I like Micah Parsons. I like the talent they have on the team. But Mike McCarthy is an awful coach.
An idiot.
There's no way I can pick them. So, I kind of have to go with, like, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Rams. You've got the best teams in the NFC over the last couple of years. It's boring to pick those teams, but when you look at the rest of the NFC, I do think the Eagles will be a spicy team, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't like the Saints. Carolina will be better, but they're not going to be good. Who do you
right?
The 49ers, the 49ers will be good because they're always pretty good. And it's going to be funny that Jimmy G's probably going to play in, like, his third NFC Championship game and then just be a free agent quarterback that nobody wants. So it's just going to be – that's just fun.
Yeah. No, but I think you're exactly right. And Chris, before we get to you, man, it's just like, it's something that once you get down to that part of the year, those teams, like you were just mentioning, there's something that there's strikes against you. Like, with the Niners and with the who else were we talking about? The Niners and the Eagles, you have young quarterbacks. I don't know how those young quarterbacks are going to perform in those games. You know what I mean? Like, you can get there, but what are you going to do when it's time to get it done? I'm not sure. So that's why I can't put them in the game. And it's boring, but I think, having a veteran quarterback and continuity is going to put you over the edge in those types of situations. So,
and that's why my NFC Championship game is Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to complete that Hulk Hogan NWO heel turn, talking about Percocet and playing football, and Joe Rogan doing ayahuasca to get his head right. Like, he's killing it, and I'm here for it. I'm here for the Aaron Rodgers is a jerk tour, and he caps it off by going to the NFC Championship game against hopefully a not beat up too bad Tom Brady from his offensive line.
It would be fun for the Packers to go to the Super Bowl just because Aaron Rodgers will only do media with Pat McAfee. Yeah. That would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
None of the other media will get to talk to him the entire Super Bowl for 2 weeks. He'll just be on the Pat McAfee show. So that would be interesting to see how that dynamic worked out.
He would totally take that fine too. He would take that
fine. Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah. $50 million a year. He's got money put aside for fines.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear Aaron Rodgers said he was allergic to something that was in the vaccine, and that's why he didn't get it? Why didn't he just say that originally? I feel like
that would have
that would have been a nice starting point.
Yeah,
instead of I'm immune, I'm immunized. Immunized.
Yeah. Like,
idiot.
I don't know.
I just love it, man. I'm digging him. He's embracing the dark side. He doesn't care what anyone thinks. He walked up to training camp looking like Nick Cage from Con Air. Like, yeah, dude. I'm here for
terrible movie. Terrible movie.
All right, Shawn.
Yes.
Super Bowl. Who we got?
Listen, Super Bowl, I have Bucks Chargers. I got Bucks Chargers. Two of my top teams. I think, I'm not shying away from that. I'm not varying from that. These are the two teams I think. And what a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What a Super Bowl.
It's going to be like 50-48. It'd be great.
I honestly, like, if I see those two teams, I'm not guaranteeing by any stretch that the Bucks are going to take it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But what I will be better for, like I said earlier. So
that'll
Bucks
be a very
Chargers,
entertaining
man.
Super Bowl.
Bucks Chargers. Yeah.
Chris, who you got?
Eagles, Bills.
Wow.
Oh.
The rest of the world don't get to enjoy the Super Bowl?
I'm predicting the Eagles because I hope it doesn't happen, but
I hope you're jinxing
I
it.
actually think will happen.
Okay, that's an old school Super Bowl right there.
Yeah, it is.
I hope they break out the old I know they wouldn't. They can't do it, but if they broke out the old school throwback uniforms for that, like the Kelly Green Philly and the old school blue with Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. If that's your Super Bowl, Jesus Christ, let the police be on site because there's gonna be some fights, some tables. Jesus, man. Like, I don't want to see
so many tables will be lost that day.
Yes.
All right,
I'll go. I'm going Kansas City and the Rams. A real sexy out of the left field pick there. Again, just two teams that know how to win, two teams that have done it. And yeah, I think Kansas City pulls it out again. And this is just, we're slowly starting to figure out that, this is the Patrick Mahomes like era of the NFL. Maybe he doesn't do the Tom Brady stuff because that was just ridiculous. But I think it's, it's reasonable to think he could be the guy who wins multiple Super Bowls in this generation and is competing, or at least like he's like the final boss. If you make it to the Super Bowl,
that Josh Allen just can't ever beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, he's well on his way to being the first ballot. Like, I don't think, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So how many he's going to be in is just the question at the end of the day.
I just think the league is set up for just dynamic quarterbacks to take their teams as far as they can possibly go.
Yeah.
So,
how old is Andy Reid, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, is he just going to
He's
ride
ageless, baby. He's eating cheeseburgers like he's going to live forever.
Yeah.
His age isn't the problem.
Yeah, his age.
That's true. Truer words have not been spoken there, sir. I like it.
Oh, man.
I got Chiefs Packers.
Okay.
Oh, go back. You riding this Aaron Rodgers thing out, huh?
If we've learned anything, the NFL gods love a good storyline.
Mm.
So this is going to be that year that Brady took the Patriots to the Super Bowl with no receivers. So Aaron Rodgers is what he's going to do.
Yeah. If that's the case, like if he does that, he's the clear-cut MVP. And who won it last year? Did he win it last year?
Yeah.
Didn't he win last year? So, yeah, back-to-back. Damn, that's right. Triple crown.
Treat.
Yeah.
All right, Shawn, who you got as your offensive player of the year?
So I wrote down both for NFC and AFC. Like, are we just is there just one? Like, I couldn't remember. There's just one. All right. So if I had to battle it out between these two, I'm going with your boy, man. Like, I really wanted to pick Justin Jefferson, who was my NFC. But I gotta go with my overall offensive player of the year. I gotta go with Patty Mahomes. I
have Patrick Mahomes as well.
Yeah. And actually you said something earlier, like you said, like Patrick Mahomes is pissed. I believe you. Can you imagine what he sounds like when he yells? Like, can you see him get mad?
Hey, stop it.
Right.
I just love when he gets the call in his helmet and he's on the sideline and he cocks his head to the side and walks back to the huddle and then throws it 80 yards down the field.
Damn. It's weird. I just felt good because I just realized how long it's been since we had to see a Jackson Mahomes anything.
Yeah,
I realized that's coming back.
It's coming, buddy.
Damn.
At least maybe he's an uncle now. Maybe he's matured.
No.
I don't see. All right,
Randy, who you got as your offensive player of the year?
Offensive player of the year. I wanted to go non-quarterback just because my MVP is going to be quarterback. I want to go with Jamar Chase. Just the numbers he put up last year, unless somebody starts, putting the clamps on that offense, and maybe they can.
Clamps.
But I think that, if they protect Joe Burrow better, and he's getting better, and the offense as a whole gets better, I think Jamar Chase can really take a step up. And really, in a way, it's almost more of like Cooper Kupp isn't going to have a 2,000-yard season again. You're not going to do that. Jonathan Taylor ran for 1,800 yards. The likelihood of a guy running for 1,800 plus back-to-back years is extremely low.
He's going to hit 2 this year.
It'll be like he's bound to regress. Devontae Adams is reaching 30. Like, it just more feels like I don't know how much better of a season Justin Jefferson can have. It just feels like more to me, Jamar Chase or somebody just completely out of the blue, which I doubt happens. I feel like it's him as the offensive player of the year, non-quarterback division.
I'm so excited we're set up to see just so many years of Jefferson and Chase trying to outdo each other.
Yeah. How many, and that's what I was just thinking about this, like how many, like I'm so excited to see how many 72-yard TDs Jamar Chase just pulls out of his ass this year. You know what I'm saying? It's like what you thought you had 2 points in fantasy, it turns out you had 12 because he just turned the play upside down. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love it, man.
I can't wait for him to hold out and then end up playing for somebody else. It's going to be very exciting. Can't wait.
All right, Chris, who you got?
So I think all the awards are narrative based, and it's not always the most valuable,
no
whatever.
doubt.
So,
agreed.
Offensive player Justin Herbert.
I can see. Yeah.
I think especially when you consider the injuries that are likely for the Chargers, that offense is running through him and what he does, and if it continues to be good, it's going to be based on him. So I think
best case scenario they take turns getting hurt. Like Eckler's out like week 2 to 5, and then Williams goes out from like 6 to 10, and then like Keenan's spotty for the playoffs.
But has Herbert missed any games in his career at this point?
Now you're going to jinx Herbert into missing the last 3 games.
I mean, do that, Jay Herb Bear. I mean, do that to you, baby. I mean, do that to you.
Man's going to roll an ankle in week 14.
Ah, man, I need to see that hair on the field, man. All that acne. I need it.
All right, defensive player of the year. I got Micah Parsons.
Well, you didn't give us your offensive player of the year.
It was Pat Mahomes. I agree with
That's right. Yeah. So Micah.
Defensive player of the year, I got Micah. I think a linebacker's a safe spot. I think TJ Watt's going to have to deal with some injuries this year. I love my guy with the Colts, Buckner. I think he's up there again too, especially if the Colts go as far as I think they're going to go. But I think at the end of the day, I think Diggs takes a step back. I don't think he has as many interceptions as he does.
Yeah,
like I don't think a lot of teams are going to throw at him as much as they did.
Yeah,
and he did when he wasn't intercepting. He got burnt a couple times too. So
a lot. Yeah.
I think Mike is just going to continue to eat people alive.
Yeah, I could totally see that, man. Especially like just another year in the system, getting more comfortable with whatever his role is, constantly changing, but he can do it all. So I could totally see that.
To talk about Chris's narrative, they do love elevating when they make like defensive rookies of the year. They love having them as defensive player of the year later.
Yeah.
So.
And a marquee franchise like the Cowboys.
I was about to say,
gets a lot of publicity. He's also my pick.
Micah Parsons. Yeah.
He's a great player on the defense where he's pretty much the only great player. And that helps because he'll have a lot of opportunities to make plays. I think it's a slam dunk that he's going to be a star player. I mean, he's already becoming a star player, but I think defensive player of the year this year is a pretty, I think a safe bet as far as Micah Parsons goes.
Right.
I got you.
Chris, who you got?
Rashawn Gary.
Oh, wow.
Because I think he's still ascending. He's improved every year. Jair Alexander was hurt a lot last year. And I think if Alexander's healthy, the quarterback's going to have to hold on to the ball more. Their defense is already just better overall with the free agent signings and the draft picks they've made. So I just think he got a lot of pressure last year, not that many sacks. We all know the award is for most sacks or most interceptions normally. Yeah. So I can see Gary having like 18 sacks this year. So I'm going with him.
Damn. Yeah. That's a pick I wasn't even thinking about, but you're right. He came on like gangbusters at the end of the year. He's an ascending player. And it's gotta be somebody like, cause talking about marquee franchise, the Packers are going to be on TV a lot. So they're going to need somebody to talk about on that defense.
Yep.
Jair Alexander aside, it's probably going to be Rashawn Gary. So he should have every opportunity to do that. Damn good pick, man. Good pick.
Got Walker beside him too. I like that.
Yeah.
See, it just helps my narrative of the Packers being a good team.
Yeah, like these things kind of feed into each other. So I guess that leaves me with my defensive player of the year.
Who you got?
Man, I really had trouble with these two, but I gotta go with Khalil Mack. I just think it's gonna be too easy for him. I think it's gonna be too easy, man. Like talking about being elevated, new face, new place.
Talk about healthy. The guy along on the other side of him play a whole season.
Well,
how we feel about the Bosa boys.
That's never mattered for Khalil Mack. Like regardless of who's next to him, he just eats players. So the one guy who was able to put Tristan Wirfs on his ass, you know what I mean? Like that's that guy. So with Bosa being healthy, I there's no way I don't think that you'll be able to double team Khalil Mack. He should get plenty of opportunities. My dark horse candidate who I really wanted to pick because I'm tired of being the defensive end is Jalen Ramsey. I think he's going to have an all-world season, but I think Khalil Mack edges him out.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we'll transition that into who's your MVP.
My MVP is the boy Tom, man. Like, you think they not giving it to Tom in this last year? Come on, man. This house money, that's a safe bet. Put your money on it now and make $25 because that's all it's going to be worth. That's what a smart money is.
All right. Chris, thoughts, concerns, your pick?
Josh Allen.
Okay.
And I don't even think he necessarily needs to have as good of a year as last year. I just think it's always just like the next guy that has a great year, they just kind of give it to.
Yeah.
So that's why I interchanged him and Justin Herbert. I think Herbert, they'll wait for him to get it next year.
Yeah. He's going to get at least one in his career. So I think
you're
right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
My pick is Russell Wilson. I have Denver going to the AFC Championship game. They're a team that you're going to look at their numbers. And last year, that they went 7-10, fired their coach. This year, if they turn it around, they win 11, 12 games. What's the big difference on the team? It's Russ, and that'll be and plus then there'll be another kick to the Seattle Seahawks, who are battling with the worst quarterback QB1 competition in the NFL right
Makes
now.
Makes the Panthers feel okay about life. It's nice.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if Russ starts to cook and he does everything that you think he's going to do, how much corny content are we going to get next year once he starts to go ape shit? It's crazy.
There's a lot of churches out there in Denver. We're gonna see pictures of him at too. I got the three-peat Aaron.
Aaron. Damn, like
if he does this single-handedly, you got to give it to him again.
Yeah,
no doubt. Like, but I'm just surprised at how bullish you are on Aaron, considering everything
I told you, man. He pissed me off by not leaving the Packers in the offseason because I thought for sure he was gone. And then he has just tried to one-up himself. I literally think he's watching like old school 90s wrestling and being like, how can I become an effective villain? Yeah. And I'm here for it. Yeah. I'm loving every bit of it. We hadn't had a good guy to hate in the NFL for a while. I think he's going the McMahon route from the Chicago.
I'm a little disappointed that you didn't have us pick rookies of the year because I went through and picked my guys because I'm very excited because we're not going to have a quarterback offensive rookie of the year this year. Oh. We are going to have a Pittsburgh Steeler be the offensive rookie of the year, but it's not going to be Kenny Pickett because Kenny Pickett's not going to play this year because they don't play rookies. So it's going to be Pickett.
I like that
pick. A guy who's an absolute monster, a guy who my buddy Trevor Sikkema from Pro Football Focus and formerly the Draft Network.
I fucking love Trevor Sikkema. You know that dude? Like that dude is fucking amazing. He's amazing.
I had Trevor on when he used to work for Pewter Report when he covered the Bucks, and I've followed him now. He lives in Cincinnati. His fiance, I don't think they're married yet. She works for ESPN. Dude, like his life is blowing up, but he's super smart dude. And he loved he was like, if he wasn't coming off of an injury, like he's probably a top 3 receiver in this draft.
Yeah.
And just looking at the way he plays in Pittsburgh,
that toe touch on that play, man.
Dude, the history they have of picking good receivers, like people in Pittsburgh love talking about Lima Swede. It's like, do you forget Antoine Randall, Hines Ward, Plaxico Burress, Santonio Holmes, Manuel
Jericho
Sanders,
Cotchery,
Antonio Brown, Jericho Cotchery,
Bryant.
Martavis Bryant.
Martavis Bryant, Juju Smith-Schuster, like Deontay Johnson. Like they pick,
it's crazy,
they just
man.
kill it. They kill it all the time with receivers, and this is just their next guy that I think is really just going to be. I think he's going to be tremendous, and I think he's the offensive rookie of the year. And then on the defensive side, I've got Aiden Hutchinson from Detroit.
Dude, he's looking good, man. He's looking good.
He's so good. He gets to play at home.
How good looking is his whole family?
I hate him. I hate him all.
Christ.
His dad does look like an ER doctor, though.
Just saying, like, the mom still looks great. His sisters are hot as hell. Yeah, like he's a good looking fella himself. 6-pack app, like Jesus.
Poor dad.
Christ,
Dad hadn't taken care of himself.
If Aiden Hutchinson's family and Zach Wilson's family got together, it would be the prettiest baby ever made.
Zach Wilson would have sex with Hutchinson's mom, is what would happen.
Yeah. He better stay out of Detroit. Aiden will be really upset.
Yeah. Any other predictions you got? I got one that I want to ask you. Where does OBJ end up?
Oh, damn. Yeah. Y'all, yeah. Like I want to hear what you guys think. Yeah.
I don't think he wants to play in Green Bay, but that makes the most sense.
Right. It does make sense. I think
what? Honestly, I think you mentioned the Chargers with the receivers getting hurt a lot. I staying in LA but going to the Chargers,
that would
win a Super Bowl there.
That would turn the tide for me being a Charger believer for this year for sure.
It'd be electric. It would. Yeah. I couldn't help. I could not help myself. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he'll probably pick and choose where he's going to go. I think he'll wait until we kind of figure out how the season looks.
What if he joins Von Miller in Buffalo?
Does he want to play in the cold? Because if he wants to play in the cold,
I think he just wants to win a suit. I think he's starstruck. I think he's ring chasing. Chasing.
Well, you can't get a ring in Green Bay for crying out loud.
I would love him to go to Green Bay. What if he went to like San Fran? What if he was like, I like what Lance is doing in
honestly, I think everybody's right. He should honestly just wait it out until December. You know what I'm saying? Just wait. He's
going to end up being a Dallas Cowboy or something. It's going to be something weird.
That was my initial thought. Cowboy was getting the star. Yeah.
Eagles. Put him upside. Get him on cheap.
They have enough receivers there.
Yeah. We were talking about.
I just love putting him in with all the contenders. As long as he doesn't end up in Tampa Bay.
We can't pay that man. I don't know what we're going to do.
Y'all got negative money though.
Yeah, I don't know, but no, I think he'll definitely he'll sign with a contender. But no, the crazy thing about it is we were talking about the Cowboys. I honestly think, like we were talking about it earlier, I think the Cowboys could be in for a fall, man. I don't know if it's just something about this.
I don't trust Zeke. They're going to be too hard-headed to put Pollard in. Yeah. Dak's going to have to do it himself, and he might get hurt again. So.
And Jerry Jones just doubled down on Zeke on national TV, too.
Yeah, which is the ultimate curse, too.
Very much so.
If you're a Cowboys fan, you got to hope they bottom out, just so maybe they'll get rid of Mike McCarthy. Yeah. And then maybe try to get Sean Payton to come to Dallas. If
I hate a team more?
If they're good, they're going to keep Mike McCarthy. And that's if you're a Cowboys fan,
if they're good though,
as soon as possible.
If they're good and they still don't win the Super Bowl, like I could see
Jerry
them making a change.
I could see Jerry making that move. Yeah, still, as long as it was a short bet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So. All right, fellas, I appreciate y'all joining us. Randy, where can people find you online?
They can find me RSI37, Twitter, Instagram, basically anything else. I do ESPN Wilmington. I stole that sign from our truck. I'm like, I run that station. I'm gonna take your sign, damn it. I do sports from 11 to 12 Monday through Friday on there, and then I do a rock show on Modern Rock 98.7 in Wilmington as well. So you can find me on the radio or find me on the internet. That's about it.
Awesome. What about you, Chris?
You can follow me on Truth Social. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, on Twitter it's Marinara, and then Instagram it's Marathon. So
nice. Got some fun takes on Twitter, so make sure you go check out Chris.
Definitely.
All right, Shawn, where can they find you?
At the Kid Suds on Twitter, at nickel_dom FB, and of course at the illustrious nickel_dom football on IG. Baby Drew, what about you, man?
At Laugh with Harrison on Instagram. Remember to check out that special based on the Drew story. It's approaching 1K on YouTube, so keep that going.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah, so I appreciate y'all who has checked it out so far. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button, share the show with your friends. Football season is upon us. So next week, we got week 1 breakdowns. We got our usual segments, our usual format. We're done with this preview nonsense. It's week 1.
Out of here.
Let's go.
Thanks, guys.